All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. Let's get straight into it, shall we? How's everyone doing today? We hit 10K. We hit 10K. It's amazing. I know I've thanked everybody in the posts in the Discord, but I want to just shout out every single person here. Thank you for helping me reach this milestone. It's the first of many. We're just getting started. So today we're working out of just a normal ideation Monday out of OpenClaw as well as Hermes. Yo, what's up, Sharma? How we doing today? Also, forgive the delay. Had something come up this morning, had to take care of it. And literally just got back to the house with 10 minutes to spare, so it's perfect timing. All right, let's pour some fresh coffee here. This is hot. I finally ran out of the European coffee beans, so I had to buy some local Stumptown. I think it's called a hairbender. Interesting taste, interesting taste. Yeah, and so far so good with the plugin. I've been hearing good feedback. I think, how many people have forked it? Let's see. "13 stars, 5 forks. Hey, I can't be mad at that for my first official release publicly. I think I dropped a few other things, but they were all just demo accounts. Ooh, that coffee tastes good once it doesn't burn my mouth. Ooh. All right. Let me just make sure we're all set too. Yep, we are live. Hairbender? All right, there we go. So today, with it being ideation, I'm gonna pick my 2 videos for the week. I mean, I already have some videos scheduled here, but I think I'm gonna switch it up. This one's been backlogged for so long. I should probably just record it. It brings us back to the Claude Code days, right? Claude Code plus CLI or your preferred IDE, and then Vercel. Essentially just walking through how to deploy something which we've already done, but then how to create a staging branch as well as your production branch, and just, you know, rules of thumb to follow to make sure that you don't push something that you're supposed to test first into your production branch. Yo, what's up? Maestro, happy Monday. How you doing today? I appreciate the support. Thank you, man. Oh, man. That's wild. That's wild. Hey, at least it's not a rattlesnake, you know? Go back to, I've also been slowly improving Clearmud OS. We're actually for Clearmud OS and Muddy OS, we're using Convex as a backend now, because it's just a part of my greater plan to access this from different devices. Never gonna open this up to the public, right? But having it running locally on one machine was great the way it was set up, but the Convex backend, it's been like a night and day difference with my PM board. It's pretty sweet. But I'm working on a set of benchmarks. Now, you know me here. I don't do benchmarks when it comes to the numbers, but I'd rather have a set like landing page prompt that I use with each new model release. That way I can start to compare the results rather than picking something entirely new and different, you know, each time. So I'm slowly working on this. But I think 7's too many, to be honest. I think we should just have like 3 or 4. But this is what Muddy came up with at first. And I personally think these prompts are a little bit too Oh, that's not even a part of the prompt. This is just for the audience. Oh no, that's a part of the prompt. I feel like I should remove the requirements, right? I feel like the best way to test the intelligence of models is to let them think for themselves rather than giving them a comprehensive prompt. So I'm gonna have to tweak that a little bit. That's fine. Yo, what's good, Greek? How you doing today? Happy Monday, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Baker. I mean, that's what they're good for, right? Eating rodents? What else are snakes good for? As far as like farm life and just overall just like the natural balance of natural selection and whatnot. Could have sworn that they're known for like on farms and ranches you definitely want to keep them around so they eat all the rodents. Could be wrong. Also, ClawCrib is undergoing some maintenance. You can still use the help feature. I've officially handed this off to my Hermes agent team, and I've been testing out the Kanban floored rules of delegation. Did I say floored? Board. Rules of delegation, etc. So this has been a fun test, fine-tuning our system there. But the help section we kept enabled, as well as the feedback. But version 2 coming very, very soon. Hey, what do you? It's June, sir. What do you? He's trying to make me go off here. Wait, what kind of news was there? Hold on, I gotta go look it up. There must have been something. Unless he's just purposefully just poking at me right now. All I gotta say is, when's the last Super Bowl Dallas went to? Just curious. Just very, very curious. Okay. I've done my research. The research is decades of Cowboy fanship, of just hating the Niners just naturally. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I don't see any like, let's see. I'm now very, very curious. No, I don't see anything specific. If anything, it looks like it's going to be a good year barring any injuries. That's what you've been saying for like 10 years. Oh, I digress. This is not a haterade. Hey! I think the haterade started with this comment right here. Oh, man. Always good to start the day with some laughter. Anybody here some football fans? Drop in your team. I'm curious. And if it's not American football, if it's football, who's your team? Hey, you know what I just realized? I'm going to be here in the States for the World Cup. And I believe some games do play at Levi's Stadium here. I don't know if I'll go. But if Portugal makes the final, which I'm very hopeful they do, because Ronaldo needs to get a cup, I might fly back to Portugal just for the vibes. For the final. We'll see. That's pending. But then again, I do need to go see my uncles in Brazil. They're getting old. Family's getting old. Gotta go see them, you know. I haven't been there in... Shoot, has it already been 6 years? That's wild. That's wild. All right. Slow start. Let's get to work. Actually, I'm curious, everybody in chat, has anybody used that plugin yet? And also, you know, we showed off... Okay. Sorry, Barika. You and Greek will get along then. You were both Texas, or not Texans, Dallas Cowboy fans. But right on, respect. Listen, I think out of all the rivalries, like, there's no bad blood. Not like there is with the Seahawks and the Niners and the Raiders and the Niners, even though the Raiders and the Niners aren't in the same division, right? I feel like, if anything, our one rival that we hate the most is the Seahawks. Cowboys, it's healthy. It's a healthy rival, I think. At least in present day, at least in my lifetime. I know before me, maybe things might have been a little bit different, but right on, right on. All right, all right, all right. You catching that reference there? All right, let me pull something up here. There you go, making friends in chat. I think today, actually, Atlas, this is looking solid. So I kind of want to fine tune it though. This part's looking solid. I do need to fix that tab feature. This, I don't like how it doesn't have persistent memory toggling between the two. All right, let's do some work on the Agent Atlas plugin today. List view is dialed in. I'm loving it. I got no complaints aside from the skills pill tag. When I hover over a skills pill tag for any of the agents with the dotted borders, which are, we're treating them as subdivision agents, but they do have their own agent profiles, right? When we hover over their skills, it actually does two drop downs. The first drop down kind of goes underneath other agents. I think if anything, the index should go above all of the elements, you know, on that list view. And since we have a lot of skills, I think that, and we haven't gotten specific as to what skills get tied to what agent yet, I think we should max show maybe 15 skills. And then if we click on that pill tag, the same thing occurs where a pop-up module occurs, like right when we click on the pill tags for, looks like Neo's pill tag we can't click on, but for Architect, Mouse, Morpheus, and Oracle, it'll do a pop-up screen. I think we should also, you know, add to this pop-up an option to filter or search through the skills, and then if we select a skill, we can preview that skill within this pop-up. I think that'll be a nice feature to add to the Atlas. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, please resolve this double menu thing. I do not like that. I'm going to send you a screenshot with this prompt. Now, when it comes to the floor plan, you know, I mean, it's good for now. I think it's good for its current state. Looks like we can't view those skills on the floor plan. Although that's not required. I think on the list view, it's more important. And then the 3D view, I want to make sure that, let's say I take some time to move the camera around and I position it in a certain way. If I tab back over to floor or list and then back over to 3D, it resets the camera view. I think it should only reset the camera view with a hotkey Z. So add, you know, Z as a keybind to essentially zoom out to the default view. Otherwise, it should be persistent between tabs. Of course, when you hard reload the entire dashboard, yes, it resets, but let's add that functionality to the 3D, as well as when I click on an agent in the 3D view. I love the pop-up legend, looks great. Now, if I were to click the skills pill tag, I think this should expand that module open, where we see a vertical menu along the left that we can search and filter, and then a preview to that skill off to the right of that pop-up. Also, one other thing is when I'm hovering over list, floor, and 3D, it automatically switches. I think it should only switch based off of a click or a tap if I'm on a touchscreen. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let's add that screenshot in there as well. Oh, don't tell me that entire transcript just failed. Come on now. Oof, this coffee's interesting. Excuse me. Gotta mute my mic when I do that, eh? Is something going on with Whisperflow today? Huh. Oh yeah, service disruption dictation may not work reliably right now. Are we gonna have to build our own? Come on now. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I mean, it's retrying right now, so let's see what happens. It's trying. Man, that was almost a 4-minute transcription. I do not want to have to type all that. Matthew. Oh, yeah. All right. This just reminds me of, what's that song? You've got a friend. What's that? What movie is that from? Is that from Toy Story? I think that's from Toy Story. November 15th, 49ers at Dallas road trip. Ooh. As tempting as that sounds, that is the start of, or well, that's prep to olive harvest. I'll most likely be back in Portugal by that time. Damn. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe. We'll talk. I'm just getting through the summer here, and then maybe I stick around for that and then fly out right after the game. Sent snake shots to the Discord. Ain't room for both of us inside the patio. Yes, he does. Yep, okay. Bring your boots. Why? Is it snowing a lot in November? Or are you just talking about ranch? Oh, chat must be delayed a little bit. Yep. Randy Newman. Is that who sings that song? All right, we're kind of, I guess I'll have to type all that. That's a bummer. Man. Oh no, hey, it works. I just had to actually refresh the Flow app and it worked. Beautiful. So let's put that in there. Let's give him that screenshot I was talking about. Let's pop this over here as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, now that our team is dialed in here, I need to have a quick mute button. Now that our team is dialed in here, I've created bot tokens for Architect Mouse, Morpheus, Oracle, as well as pairing tokens on Telegram. Because I want full redundancy. I don't know if anybody's ever run into Discord outages or Telegram weird little glitches, but I have essentially configured Neo, Architect, Mouse, Morpheus, and Oracle to have 2 default delivery channels for all of our crons. Pretty much anything you would normally set to 1 channel to like send you your morning brief or anything, right? They now send it to both their Discord and their Telegram channel. And I wanted this for redundancy. I don't know if I'm gonna get annoyed by this long term, but I took the time to set up both tokens and then create a rule to route those delivery mechanisms to each channel for redundancy purposes. So I'm stoked with that. Oracle, I'm just playing with her. I'll show it off a little bit. Where's Telegram? I gotta say though, Telegram is growing on me as far as the fact that I can open this in a new window and then I can actually have chats side by side by side. It's a cool feature. I don't know how often I'll use that for, but yeah. So we started working on a daily research brief, and I started with the simplest of prompts because I want to fine tune it before I attach a skill to it, right? Before we create a skill and then have the cron plus skill combo. I'm more so testing the intelligence of Oracle based off of the context provided about Clearmud, about their job, you know, as a system as a whole. And we fine tuned it today to where we get a bottom line, and then we just get industry news, right? So it feeds from all the frontier models. And then it pulls from product hunt and product oriented marketplaces. And then it gives us build ideas, micro SaaS idea, open source idea, as well as updating an existing tool feature, which I thought this was a nice touch. And then competitive intelligence section, opportunities. I personally haven't read through this line for line today. I was busy this morning, but I'm gonna essentially respond with my tweaks as far as how I want tomorrow's to look and my likes and dislikes with this brief. And I think by the end of the week, I'll be able to create a skill for this automation. And then I'm gonna layer, I'm gonna rinse and repeat, keep creating more and more and more and more and more. Today is primarily focused on 1 internal tool, actually 2 internal tools and ideation. But let's see, Oracle's recommendation for today: draft an internal agent production readiness checklist for Clearmud tools. Focus on context, permissions, secrets, spend, provenance, and evaluation and replay. Scope a prompt browser feature, concept for cited runs plus model cost metadata. Interesting. I need to ask, but is this referencing like, I think they might need more context on prompt browser. I'm not sure if that'll fit, but we'll see. Start a small watchdog on Copilot billing backlash and Claude Opus 4.8 field reports, because this can become a useful future product, membership, or educational asset. Interesting. Okay. I gotta say, I love the universal love for Matrix. I feel like a lot of people have used Neo, Oracle, Architect. This is great. I love this. Clearmud tailgate at AT&T Stadium. Hey, listen, long term, Clearmud booth at AT&T Stadium for sure. Well, obviously, I feel like Levi's is gonna have to come first. You know what I mean? But but I'm definitely down for a tailgate. You know, I'll be drinking my non-alcoholics. That's for sure. And grilling some vegetables. How are the tailgates at AT&T? I'm guessing they're good. I use Telegram like that all the time when I'm doing different things with different agents. I like the group chats with form topics feature for keeping chats organized. Are you talking about on Hermes or on OpenClaw? I'm guessing you're talking about Hermes. So every single one of these agents have their own profile. They're not temporary sessions. They actually have their own profile. However, each of these, and the reason these are dotted lines is these inherit Architect's profile as well. So there's no like siloed information in this department. That's just how I have it configured right now. Now, I've barely scratched the surface. I'm still testing every day. This is why I feel like as soon as I have this system dialed in, then we schedule the bootcamp. I don't want to schedule it any sooner. I want to make sure that bootcamp brings value to anybody wanting to set up a multi-agent team with proper delegation rules, right? But what's really cool about this Atlas is, let me pull up Neo's chat. Give me a second here. You know what's interesting, Mr. Baker? I pulled open that Telegram. Oh, I must have minimized the whole thing without even realizing it. Open a new window. I didn't even ask for this. Neo actually detected this. Let me just pull up the part of the conversation where he did this, because this might be useful for others trying to set up their own multi-agent team. Oh man, that's a secret. I can't expose that part of the chat. Yeah, and for anyone curious, like if you're creating, you want this similar functionality here, this is how, like, the best way I've found to pull it off. Label that subagent, start off with the department. So Atlas was able to intelligently pick this up. I didn't have to manually configure these columns because of how I configured the agent profiles, right? So for architect, he's engineering, right? I just labeled each agent engineering dash, then you would give them a name. I just, I'm at the point where there's enough names up here. I don't want to have to name each agent. I would rather just call them what they are. You know what I mean? But essentially, Neo is using the Atlas as the source of truth for delegation. So he created a map based off of the Atlas. So I'm seeing another purpose of this plugin is, like, you can feed it to your, if you're using your default agent, great. You feed it to your default agent and say, hey, we're using the agent Atlas as a map of delegation. You have to first dial it in and make sure that when you configure all of your agents, and depending on what departments you have, label them accordingly for Atlas to pick it up if you do use this. But I think in general, it's a good rule of thumb to do it this way, so that your default agent or your executive assistant or your COO intelligently knows, like, oh, these are all engineering related agents. Oh, these are all marketing related agents, right? I didn't think to do this on OpenClaw. I had to do a lot of fine tuning on OpenClaw because I didn't do this. I'm wondering, would that have been different had I named my agents like this? And then obviously the name that's shown is only this. This is just for the sake of making sure that it's easy to discover by the system, like what goes where. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either, because yesterday I was testing Neo. In here. I'd scroll up, but there's some sensitive information I don't want to expose, so I can't really do that. I guess I can. If I do this. Oh no, that's not it. Wait, what's my button for that? That, however, then you can't see anything. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Neo essentially, we ran into an issue. I'll give you the play-by-play. I gave Neo some work for ClawCrib. I was redefining the rules of do it now means you do it now. If I don't say do it now, it gets delegated, right? So I was testing him. Sometimes I would say do it now, sometimes I wouldn't. He kind of messed up a few times. He figured it out, but there was this one moment where he handed it off to Architect. Architect starts doing the work, but he didn't leave his chat open. What he did was he just watched Architect's work. So he essentially locked up. I couldn't continue chatting with Neo until Architect was done. The problem there is Architect ran into issues. I have a Hobby Vercel account, so I can't have different users committing. So the bypass is in the metadata, you just use the authorized account on that Vercel. So in my case, it's Clearmud's account and my email. And that's a little trick to keep using the hobby account with different people committing, right? Because it doesn't flag them saying, oh, you need to sign up for a Vercel Pro account. You need to have a team. This person's not on your team. We can't approve this commit. It's been blocked, et cetera, et cetera. So Architect kept running into that issue. And I know this because I kept getting emails saying blocked, 10 minutes later blocked, 10 minutes later blocked. For an hour this went on. Neo just stayed watching, trying to help. I'm like, listen, this defeats the whole purpose of how we're configuring you, right? So we went down this back and forth of, you know, fine tuning our rules of delegation. And I referenced the Atlas. Neo checked out the Atlas and he's like, oh, wait a second. This is great. We can just create a delegation map, a flow of how things are going to move when a request comes into me, right? Unless of course you say, do it now. So it's pretty nifty. It's pretty nifty. I love how this is coming along. Now, I don't know how this is going to work in your environment. I think before I even think about releasing this, I'm going to have community test it. You know, we're going to do like beta testing in the Discord. So I'll hand it off to like Mr. Baker and anybody else who wants to test this. But I think we'll have to create some type of onboarding, because I don't think everybody's going to name their agents like this, right? This is honestly my preferred recommendation in the bootcamp. I'm going to recommend you do it this way. Selfishly, so the Atlas picks it up seamlessly. But let me catch up on some comments here, because I don't know I'm behind. But I noticed there is a delay. Let's always allow here. Okay. Nice. Hey, less is more, man. Less is more. Like, this is a big team, and it's not fully operational yet. I'm working on it one at a time. We're working on Architect right now and Oracle. Morpheus and Mouse are coming next, right? I set up the delivery channels and the lines of communication, but as far as automations and testing those departments, not yet. I like doing things one at a time, rather than trying to overwhelm myself or do, you know, bite off more than I can chew in one session. Yeah, they are. You have to define it. You have to define it with whoever your default. So my default agent, I actually removed all Discord bot tokens that were tied to him, or Telegram token for that matter. This is my administrative API/API user. I only use them in this dashboard with this port, right? But when it comes to setting up the agent Atlas, you definitely want to set this up on that default profile. And then Neo is now, you know, moving forward, going to be my primary, you know, source or destination with requests, et cetera, et cetera. And then from here, right, I don't send work here. I send work here. He knows where to delegate things. He first identifies what type of task it is. He's already started creating separate Kanbans, one for Clearmud as a whole, one for each product. As each new product or project, for that matter, that I add to Product OS, there's going to be a new Kanban board associated with it. So I hope that that answers your question there. Love a video on agents for subs for Hermes, like the one you did with OC. Ooh, this is a great idea. Let me add this to just a script right now. Hermes agents versus sub agents. Let me grab news research docs. I also fixed the backend here. So previously it did use a Claude-P command to invoke Claude in the CLI, but now it's actually interactive mode. So I think here on the 15th, when they shift over the billing for Claude-P, this is still running off my subscription, which is pretty nifty. It's a cool little workaround. I think I'll have to make a video around it at some point, but Yeah, so my roles are being defined based off of my atlas now, which is pretty nifty. Yeah, this right here. Everyone must use matrix characters for the AI. It is foretold. Right? It's just simple, right? Like, I think having my core executive team with unique names is great. But past that, like on OpenClaw, that was like my one thing. It was for the most part, I know all the agents now, or at least 50% of them. But but it was definitely a pain point with that side of it. Okay, nice. 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 Yeah, so this isn't for everyone, I would say. The reason I'm doing it this way is two reasons. You know, one, I didn't want Neo's personality or identity to be the same as the default agent profile. When I first configured him, he was, right? And there was some hallucination occurring between the default profile and actually Neo's delivery channels that I was communicating with him on. Because I'm building out my own OS, right? This is currently on hold until I dial in things here. But because I'm building out my own OS, this is tying to the default agent profile via API, right? And that port for that matter. I don't want him to have any responsibilities that Neo would have. This is just more of a system architecture preference of mine, where if I have administrative work I have to do on the root system, on the root Hermes agent dashboard, or on any of these plugins, right, that are on the default profile natively, then yeah, default. But I don't communicate with him by default, right? I just left him as default. I didn't name a new agent profile or anything like that. Moving forward, I can show you. So default, this is the system admin, essentially. And you go down, here's Neo, right? But all of these other agent profiles have that, you know, department first, job role second, right? That's just how I've preferred to set it up. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Baker. Is this not the right way? I don't think there's a wrong or right way of doing it. I think it's just a matter of deciding how you want yours to function. But I essentially only communicate with the default profile in the TUI chat, through the dashboard or through the terminal. That's it. There's no Discord set up for this profile, nothing. That's how I prefer to set it up. Will I recommend this in the bootcamp? Probably not. I feel like this is not for everybody. I'm doing it this way because with Product OS and any other, you know, front ends I built that tie in with the Hermes agent system, they're gonna tie in with the default profile by default. No pun intended. All right, let's go check out the script. All right. I feel like this will be the move. I don't necessarily like the title, but I think this will be a great you know what? Let's actually do some maintenance on this. We might just do some maintenance live. You know it's real when you start dreaming about new features that you haven't developed yet. Like, I started my day this morning, I was doing just my normal morning, nice and quiet, and then I finally got to my desk and I I pop open Muddy OS, Clearmud OS, and I'm looking at the script and I was like, wait a second, I could have sworn I improved this. But no, it was a dream that I improved it. So I immediately got to sketching it out on my sticky notes here. And I like the idea of this is just going to save me some time, essentially. The core of how it functions is going to be the same. But I think we should vibe this right now, or at least start the process. Yeah, so exactly this right here. But it's also for me, because I'm building out for each product, right? These are placeholders, but for ClawCrib, for prompt browser, for community, for memberships, once we get further along the line, those are gonna be their own plugins, right? I built that chat bubble plugin and the Atlas plugin because I'm testing, the process of what we need to build a plugin, trying to figure out the most efficient way of building a plugin, how it works, how it ties in. I found that, enabling these plugins on the default root profile is the move. Now, if you go into a different port per agent, you'll have to essentially enable that plugin for that dashboard. However, having it on the default profile, I think, is the best move. Yeah, so I'm slowly building this out, right? I haven't given them too much free reign yet. So I think I'll have a more, what's the word I'm looking for? I think I'll have a better answer for you, I'd say in a week or two. I just handed off ClawCrib. Now, as far as automations to self-improve, automations to check for bugs and features, we're not there yet because we're rebuilding it. Which we might make Wednesday about vibe coding in the CLI, because I don't want my agents to build it. I want to be hands-on with the build, and then I'm going to hand off the code base. Rather, I'm just going to commit to Git because they already have access to the ClawCrib repository. But yeah, essentially, how I'm going to be managing projects, let me go back to that to just do a quick brain dump here, is, my chat scrolled, just glitched. There it is. I'm going to be setting a lot of crons. There's going to be one cron that's going to reference the feedback tab. Anybody dropping notes, discovering bugs, maybe they're just giving praise, whatever. The agents are going to be intelligent enough to know, oh, this is just somebody complimenting, or this is broken. We need to look into this. And then it's going to take that feedback and then add it to the debugging workflow, excuse me. Man, give me 1 second here. Yeah. I don't know about a hairbender, but this coffee, it just had me hiccup, as I pour more. Straight up addict. Oh, I had to hide the camera and hide the mic there. Forgive me. So I'll be able to have, a more detailed response for you, Sharma, and obviously I'll make videos around it once this team's fully functioning. As I mentioned, I start simple. I may not have started simple with the amount of profiles that I created, but I'm starting simple with building them out and testing them. I just got Architect working. I still need to test all of these individual profiles to make sure things get delegated. I'm essentially going to be sending dummy requests to Neo, making sure that he delegates out, and then just keeping an eye on Architect's delivery channel to see what's going on, right? And then Oracle. Those are the two I'm focused on right now. And I think later this week, so marketing for me at this moment isn't a priority, right? Because at least not on this system. So this is probably going to be the last department I focus on. Growth, I've already connected to my OpenClaw side. So this will probably be the next department I work on. Yeah, and I think I think there's no right or wrong way to set it up, to be honest, but this is just how I prefer to do it. That way, if I have any admin related work, I don't have a separate agent profile. I just use the default. That's just my preference. It just logically made sense to me to do it this way. And also a fun little trick is, let's say you want to feed your system as a whole some context and you're not using a memory plugin. Well, you can feed it to your default agent and then say, I want to update the context on all of our agent profiles, or maybe just our department heads. Well, the default agent profile has that power to update any memory related context files for each agent. I did a brain dump. I'm going to continue to do more brain dumps to the default agent, which is then going to determine, okay, which agent needs which block of information. And then it's going to divvy that out. And then, yeah, Mr. Baker right here. No, I feel like there's no real right or wrong way of setting up Hermes. I think you're answering my question of like, is there a right or wrong way of doing this? I personally don't think there is. That's just, my brain works in mysterious ways as well. It's not always the most efficient, but these agents are helping it become more efficient, that's for sure. So you're very similar to me. As a minimal service layer agent, everything else is done with named agent profiles. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like right here in Discord, this is being built out with Neo. This is not being built out with the default. All right, let's go back to chat. Interesting. You know, I signed up for Telegram Pro a few years ago and then I canceled it. I've just been using the free version. It works. It works for now, but I'm gonna have to look into Pro. I'm curious. Let me know what you find here. Oh, really? Very nice. Yo, what's up? Level up. How you doing today? Can you talk about how you have your agent knowing who to delegate it to, what rules you set up, and where you put that in their instructions? So we actually just went off on a little rant. If you rewind, I'll give you the TLDR on it. I was testing that this weekend. I'm finally at the point where I'm happy with my team on the surface level, right? I was trying to visualize the team first and foremost. And over the weekend, I was testing, with Neo. I have a certain rule where if I give Neo a task and I say, do it now, that means he bypasses any delegation rules and he just does it now. No Kanban, none of that. I just want him to do the work now. But I was testing back and forth. I gave him work, do it now. I gave him work and I said, don't do it now. He properly delegated to architect, but there was a moment where he was locked up for about an hour. And that's unacceptable to me, right? I'm setting up this multi-agent team for a reason so that my executive assistant is always available to me. That is going to be the person I talk to the most, right? So we discovered what happened was he handed everything off to architect, but then architect ran into some issues and he just babysat him. He watched him. So his chat, his session, he essentially got locked up to the point where, in Telegram at least, he wasn't responding to any of my prompts until that was resolved. I shared my frustration. I said, this is not how this is supposed to work. If you hand it off, you hand it off, right? And once the loop's closed, you then report back to me once the Kanban gets updated and marked as complete or done. And then Neo, I shared the agent atlas. I said, please reference the agent atlas for, our departments and how things are structured. So you're up top, you delegate things out to engineering, marketing, growth, and research. And then each department head has their own team of agent profiles. And then Neo discovered wow, this is actually great. I'm going to use this as a map for delegation, right? And that's essentially the TLDR of the rant. I shared a little bit more than that. But honestly, I'm using my agent atlas to create that map. First, I wanted a visual, but now my agents are finding this useful. Neo found this very useful to create the map, the rule of how he's going to delegate. Now, I'm going to have to go through individually with Architect, Mouse, Morpheus, and Oracle to make sure that they're aware that they don't just handle the work themselves. They delegate each task out themselves. That way, if something critical comes in from Neo, while they just handed off a task to any one of these agents, they can then handle that if they need to, right? Yeah, so this is my goal is Neo determines who he hands it off to. He then hands it off, and then the department heads create different tasks based off of that overarching request, right? So I need to test that layer next. Make sense? Let's see. Why didn't I have that window open? Tab. I know we were working on some stuff here. Let's see. There it is. Let's go test it, shall we? Oof. Preview text unavailable for the skill. Okay. Loving that though. Good. I have to click now. That's good enough for now. Okay. The hover pill tag doesn't work there. Let's test this. Let's go to our bullpen. Ooh. I mean, it's kind of funky. I don't know how I feel about that right there, but should be resizable. All right, not a bad first go. So for the following, of course, as per usual for this plugin, I want you to do it now, but let's start off in the 3D view. It has persistent memory, which is great as far as where the camera is positioned. When I click on an agent though, and then I click on skills, we need to optimize this. I think that, you know, the avatar logo placeholder icon, that icon should only be as tall as that top row where you list off, you know, what room it is, what the agent is, what the agent handles, the model, the pill tag for skills. Then once we click skills, right, it drops down and the search skills should go full width below that. So essentially that left column that you have for the profile itself should just be, I'd say, a quarter of that on the top, on the top row. And then more importantly for the skills, it looks like preview text is unavailable for the skills across any pop-up, across the list pop-up, the 3D pop-up, the floor plan. When I click skills, nothing happens, so the pop-up is not functioning there. Please look into this and let me know what you find. Handle it. Wait, did I not? Oh, I didn't allow something up here. Shoot. What's the draw of Telegram over Discord? What do you mean? Are you talking about the pull of why I'm using it more, or the negative? I think it's a preference thing. The reason I have both set up, I'll give you a preview. So I need to optimize Oracle's delivery because all the source URLs get embedded here. I do not like how this looks whatsoever. But I'm leaving them up so that when I go through and finish testing. So the daily research brief delivers in both Telegram and Discord. And I did this for redundancy. Discord is known to sometimes have outages. Telegram as well. They may be rare, but they happen. I never want to run into a case where Discord is down and my bots aren't working. So I created this this rule essentially. Let me I'm sure this will be helpful for you guys. Let me pull everything off screen, scroll to the bottom. What's the All right, I'm asking Neo right now to give us a prompt so that you guys can also use it if you want to take this approach. I need some downtime to do a test migration of OC to Hermes. Curious to see how main agents would evolve given the Hermes self-improvement cycle. Yeah, as you learned with my video, I'm not, OpenClaw is staying on OpenClaw for me. It was a fun test. And I think if I were to plan a migration in phases and take my time, that it would migrate. I don't want to say seamlessly, but essentially a lot of hand holding needs to be done. And if you're okay and you have the patience to do that, then by all means do it. Yeah, I think, so for me, I never really use Discord on mobile unless I need to. I prefer Telegram. So that was originally on OpenClaw. It's like, I always had a Telegram channel to essentially send voice notes on the go. Discord to me is more of a desktop workstation type application, for me at least, or chat application for that matter. So that was originally the differences for me, but for me, like now it's a matter of redundancy. If something happens to Telegram, I still get that report on Discord, and vice versa. If something happens to Discord, I get the report on Telegram. And it's not only report, right? It's just the default delivery channel for crons, for any of those automations, right? I get the report in both channels now. And eventually I'm going to set up an email layer as well, like I did with OpenClaw, but I'm not quite there yet. I want to finish testing and fine tune the outputs before I incorporate that. Yeah, it really does. And I have some plans for making it more than just vanity. Actually, you know, I do want to create an entire 3D kind of atlas to where you can assign tasks in here, but that's just not a priority of mine right now, you know. He is doing the work. I also have to fix these hotkeys. I guess that kind of works. I look like a duck. Originally kept Discord for people and Telegram for agents, but I think I'm gonna have to create a Discord server just from agents as well. Yeah, it's nice to have. It's nice to have for sure. All right, so Neo prepped this for us here. So our rule is each chief agent has one Hermes profile, right? That profile can have both a Discord home channel and a Telegram home channel. Cron jobs and autonomous updates for the agents should deliver to all, right? Rather than just specifying Telegram or Discord for that matter. So deliver all means send the update to every connected home channel for that agent profile. So you're welcome to screenshot this if this is something you want to set up. Completely up to you. That's why I prepped this. What? What? Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. What? What kind of noodles you use? Is this like are you making this from scratch? Because I've made spicy peanut noodles. Like I'll just wing a sauce and I'll grind, you know, fresh unsalted peanuts and I'll add all my own seasonings to it. But that sounds delicious. Oh, we're definitely squirreling here for a moment. Hold up. The 10-minute... Ooh, this looks simple. So you got your sesame seeds mixed. That looks like some ginger, some green onions. Is that garlic and ginger, I'm guessing? That's gotta be. Minced onions, peanut butter ground up, and then what would that be? Oh, that's chili sauce. Yeah, okay. Yep, minced garlic, minced ginger, spring onion. Yeah, that's actually very similar to how I make mine. I add some soy sauce, of course, and, you know, a little dabble wasabi. What else do I add in there? And fresh olive oil. I put olive oil in everything, to be honest with you. Man, I think I just figured out what I'm eating today. I'm gonna have to go to the... tomorrow's my grocery run, though. I go to one store specifically for all my groceries. I do go to Whole Foods occasionally, but there's this store called Berkeley Bowl. And when I first heard of it, I thought it was a bowling alley, right? It's not. It's a very, I think it's family owned, or at least it's employee owned, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those small chains. There's like 2 or 3 locations in the Bay Area, and in the East Bay Area for that matter. They have so many different imported fruits. Their prices are so damn reasonable. So I go there once a week and I just stock up on the week and then some. That's where I just get all my root vegetables, all my fruits, all my grains as well. Whole Foods is just insanely overpriced to this point where it's like, I only go there when things are on sale and I use my Prime membership. That's about the only reason I go to Whole Foods, or if it's like critical of something I need, because it is a bit of a drive. I don't live near those grocery stores, so I have to plan the drive to go there. It's like 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. It's long enough for me not to go there every day, or, you know, plan to go there on the same day. So I'll be going there tomorrow. But I might have to go to my local grocery down the street. It is super expensive, but I kind of just want to make this. All right, squirrel off. Listen, we squirrel here. If you're new to this channel, just know the focus is AI, yes, but sometimes we talk food. Sometimes we talk football. That's what these live streams are for. Yeah, true. Yeah, vinegar is the other thing. Okay, nice. Yo, what's up, Pokemon? How we doing today? Yeah, me too, Peter. Me too. And cheers, happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the grocery store right down the street is also employee owned. They're just one place, but they're just so overpriced. They know they're the only one within walking distance for the neighborhood, so they're priced accordingly. So that's like true emergency. It's a hop, skip, and a step away, but I rarely go there. It's only if I need something that day. So I feel like for these noodles, I'm gonna go there today. Welcome, TT. TT. My friend, can you prepare a group Discord page for your YouTube channel? I want to join you. Oh, I want to join you. I thought you said I have one to join for you. Yes, we do have a Discord. It is being open. We're gonna open it up for the public very soon. I'm making it a priority of mine to push that live as soon as possible. But you know what? I was gonna stop handing out Discord links until that's ready. But I'll hand some out at the end of the stream for sure. Yeah, that's been the only way, by the way, TT, to get into the Discord. It's not like I'm trying to make it all that exclusive. I just wanted a super intimate group of builders and people who were curious, right, to come in and share and build together. So I generally only hand them out during live streams, at the end of live streams. I am going to be opening it up to the public, but then we're going to do a 3-tiered approach. Any tips on a long flight to Europe? Depends. Are you a movie guy? Or my long flights to Europe really depend on what's on my plate. Sometimes I'll work the entire flight. Sometimes I'll watch movies. Sometimes it's a split between the two. As far as sleep, I generally get as little sleep as possible when I'm flying there, and then I power through my day, and then I go to bed early, and then it's like my wake up time adjusts pretty quickly and seamlessly that way. And then on the way back, I try to get as much sleep as possible, because I generally arrive in the morning here, so I don't want to just go and pull an all-nighter. You also lose time going forward, but you go backwards in time coming back. So that's why I have that weird approach to my flights, to where I try to get some sleep coming back, but not going there. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm losing a day going there. So I don't want to sleep on the plane. I'm just going to work my way through and just power through so I don't lose that day. But then coming back, since I'm going back in time, you know, I'll sleep. It's a weird little thing of mine. I don't know how logical that sounds to you, but I don't know. Do you want some recommendations for some shows? If you have eardrum issues too, gum on the way up and the way down, prime. My sister taught me that many moons ago. I want to say at least 10 years ago at this point. I always chew gum on takeoff and descent. And I used to have a lot of like ear pop, eardrum issues from flying. No more. Because it flexes your jaw, and as you're chewing with your jaw, it helps open up that eardrum, so you don't deal with any of those problems that people would normally get from the ascent and descent. Man, all right. You know, I do have some... Where's this vibing today? Now I'm hungry. It's not even 11 a.m. and I'm hungry. I do have some jasmine rice that I made, and I tried something new. I made a big batch on Saturday. And I toasted some minced garlic and some rosemary. I have a fresh rosemary bush outside. And then I added in the rinsed rice after it dried out to kind of get it toasted. And then I added in the water and cooked it normally, right? It's got a nice just hint of rosemary and roasted garlic to this batch. I gotta say, it's my first time trying to cook it that way. And it's gonna be the way I cook it moving forward, to be honest. Ah, okay, nice. There we go. Oh, okay, in general? Yeah, in general, like, listen, on the way to Europe, I get as little sleep as possible because I feel like, you know, we're going ahead in time. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's see. It took me many years to watch this, but what's that show? True Detective Season 1, when it was Matthew McConaughey and Owen Wilson. Not Owen Wilson, what's his name? How am I forgetting his name? Someone in chat's got to know who I'm talking about. That season, that was a good watch. I watched that on one of my flights. All the way through. I don't know if I had enough time to watch all the episodes on the flight, but Woody Harrelson. That's right. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. I don't know why I thought Owen Wilson. Completely different. One's got flowing long hair, or known for flowing long hair. The other's known for being bald. Woody Harrelson. If you haven't watched that Pokemon, True Detective Season 1, it was a great watch. It's definitely slower, depending on the type of person you are. It might even put you to sleep, but I thought it was a great series. All right, everybody, let's talk food while this is working here. What's everyone eating today, or have eaten today? I'm curious. I want some ideas. I think I think what Sharma shared is going to be the winner. Because I do have some peanuts. I have everything I need. I just need to go get the ginger, the garlic. Green onions and noodles. I think that's all I need to go get. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah, yeah. I honestly, like, I was excited for season 2 after I learned about it, but then I learned that True Detective, I think for most season to season, they just switch the cast, right? So it's a whole different cast. And I think that's actually kind of brilliant. It's very unique for a series to do that. You think TV series or some type of series, you think that cast will be through with multiple seasons, but no, that's not the case. My sister made me smothered pork chops, greens, and mac and cheese. Ooh. Oh, that sounds delicious. My mother, like pork chops the way my mother used to make them. Oh, chef's kiss. Oh, that's bringing it back. That's bringing it back. Yeah. You're not wrong, but for me, I don't know what it is. If I'm making an Asian cuisine of sorts, right? Some type of dish, I always put in ginger. It's just like a staple for me. But I'm sure it would work with just garlic too. I think regardless, I'm gonna have to go to this grocery store down the street today because let's say I do save that for tomorrow. Decisions. Damn it, Sharma. Thank you. Now I know I'm either eating that today or tomorrow. I'm a frugal shopper. Like, I'm aware of all the produce prices in the area, so if I notice that something is double the price in one place and half the price in another, I'll just wait to cook the thing. I know that ginger down the street is actually rather expensive, but ginger at Berkeley Bowl is like less than half the price. It's insane, like what some of these places charge around here. It's like, it's kind of like robbery. You're robbing just the citizens of your neighborhood with these prices. It's wild to me. All right, without squirrel ado, let's continue the build. Ooh, nice. You know what? Before I left town, I froze some tomato paste and some miso paste as well. I just defrosted it this weekend. Because anything I don't finish that's about to expire and I'm leaving town for a while, I just throw it in the freezer. So it should still be good. But I don't have any pasta or noodles in my pantry. That I am zeroed out on. All right, let's test. Looks like I like this. This is simple. This is super simple. Super simple. Love this menu. I really hope that stayed the same for this as well. Oh, that did not. Okay. Just to give it a visual rather than trying to explain it with my broken English. Okay, much better. But you know what? Honestly, I think my favorite viewpoint for this is this one here. Just make this universal across all 3 tabs, right? I think we're gonna add some pill tags here to show what model is tied to this agent. But this is a much cleaner pop-up module than the other two. So, all right, do this now. Strictly speaking, for when I click the skills pill tag on the list view, that is by far my favorite pop-up UI. I'm gonna give you 3 screenshots. The only thing I would add to that is you list the agent name up top and then agent name plus skills. I wanna also add some pill tags along the title. So where you name the agent with the yellow text, add what model that agent's using. What else? And what department they're in. And make sure it's colored appropriately. And then for the floor plan, right, when I click an agent and click skills, you'll see it tries to drop down a menu from the click. I think we should just replicate that pop-up module that we have in list view across floor and 3D. I just love how clean it is. Now for 3D, it's unique because when we first click an agent, we get the preview and then we click skills. Actually, I think that for 3D, it should stay the same as it is now, right? Is what I mean. The only changes I would want to make is the icon where the avatar would be. That's too wide, make it shorter. The height is perfect. The width, there's too much empty space on the left and right hand side. But then also make it full screen. So once I click or a user clicks the skills pill tag on the pop-up preview of the agent on the 3D mode, that should go full screen within the 3D canvas. Because there's so much data there, I'd rather do less scrolling. Otherwise, everything's looking good. Let me know if you have any questions. And let me just do a quick drag over. All right. Yeah, this is the move, Peter. This is the alpha. Thanks for reminding me. In the past, I would get, I'm sure most people here are familiar with like some type of wholesaler, like Costco, for example. You can buy garlic in bulk, but it does go bad if you don't use it in a short period of time. So the trick is, my mother taught me, is, you know, set aside whatever you're going to use that you want to chop up and mince for a meal. But then what you want to do is put it all in a food processor with a little bit of olive oil and some salt, and then create this garlic paste. And then you just freeze it. And all you got to do is scoop out some garlic paste when you're ready to use it for your meal or whatever it is you're cooking, so that you don't have to worry about those garlic cloves going bad. Same can apply for ginger. Thank you for the reminder, Peter. I just haven't bought ginger or garlic in bulk since I've been back, but this is on my list to do. So thanks for the reminder. This is alpha right here. Peter knows how to cook. The fact that you do this means you must cook some good meals. Are you brain dumping your agent and allowing for them to tell you what tools or systems they need? As a whole, yes. Today for this on Agent Atlas under Neo, I'm just telling him to do all the work himself. I'm not delegating this because if I delegate this, we're waiting longer. Since we're live, I'd rather just have him build it all now. So as you can see, pretty much all of my prompts say do it now in it during these streams because I just want him to do the work now, right? Rather than delegate. But are you talking about just more of a general sense? Because yes, I did a brain dump with my default agent. I think I mentioned this earlier. If not, forgive me. I may have thought it, but not mentioned it. A little trick that you could do if you have yours set up in this way, you know, this default agent, the system admin that I like to call it, you could actually feed it all your context. It could then pick apart what information goes where to each respective agent profile. So it divvies out that context, that brain dump out to who he or she, for that matter, thinks should have that information. I do have another brain dump scheduled this coming week, right? I want to continue working on the system, get a few automations in place, and then give it some more context. And then I cannot wait to start working on this. This one's on hold for now. But the next plugin I want to make is a template for products or projects for that matter. I want them to serve both purposes. That way I could plug and play ClawCrib into it, duplicate it, create one for prompt browser, right? So for each product or project for that matter, we're gonna have a new plugin. I'm gonna try to make it work within one plugin, but the problem is with Product OS, I'd like to see them all separately here. I don't know, now that I think about it, maybe it would be more beneficial just to create one products module and then one projects module. Interesting. I have something to think about there. You gotta cook when you live in East Germany. Oh man. This reminds me actually, there is a killer taco truck in downtown Oakland I gotta go to. Sorry, I didn't mean to tease you there. But I haven't had a taco in quite some time. It's been over a year for sure. You know what, Marika? So I'm gonna share what I've been discovering with my OpenClaw personal agent. This past week, primarily, I went down a rabbit hole with what I'm calling Opti, named after my late doggo. You know, I started to build out a team, just force a habit, right? Because that's how I've been using these open source solutions, is building out multi-agent teams, right? So it's like, naturally I was like, okay, what agent can I make next? But then I stopped myself. Because this bot, this OS is for me. I don't want to have to think too much about what agent to communicate with, what's configured where. I just want one person to talk to. That's it for now. So I made a role. I backtracked all of my multi-agents that I was building out for my personal OS, and it's just the one. And we're gonna operate for a month and then evaluate at the end of the month to see, should we create multiple agents? The reason I'm sharing this with you is I think that, you know, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I think less is more. Starting out with one is always the move, because starting out with that one, you then start to identify certain pain points within the way you operate. Now, maybe you've already defined these pain points, which is why you're making your multi-agent team. I have a feeling with as long as you've been following us and been a part of this community, that you have done that work and you know what your pain points are with just one agent, which is why you're moving on to a multi-agent team. But I'm always trying to be an advocate for like less is more. Like, I was creating a nutritionist why am I creating a nutritionist when my personal bot can be the nutritionist, right? So like, I was going down that path of just like, by force of habit, creating a multi-agent team, when I realized I want to simplify my life. I don't want to make it more complicated. So going back to like what tools they use, I would probably do a brain dump with your default or your orchestrator agent into each area of your life, your personal life, and then tell it to divvy out that information. Don't just store this in every single agent profile. Please take the nutrition side of my life and store it with my nutritionist. Please take the financial side of my life and store it with the financials, right? You can just do a massive brain dump, or you can do a brain dump per category and then have it divvy out that information to each respective agent. Now, I think it would be very important you can honestly sketch it by hand and upload a photo of like, hey, here's all my agents, here's their roles, here's their purpose, et cetera, et cetera. that may not be the most efficient way. I'm just like sharing my thoughts raw. I hope that's helpful. Let me know if that doesn't answer it. I want to go back to it. Yeah, like honestly, going back, like I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I would, you know, maybe you have a concierge that handles ordering your stuff online for you, or your courier, or something like that. Whatever you call them. Just start setting them up for that one workflow, that one automation, and then layer it on. And then your system will know, like, okay, this agent is responsible for ordering things online, for ordering groceries from the store, right? Moving forward, as we deploy more automations and start creating more rules, we know that everything in that category goes to that profile. Does that make sense? Depends on your memory system. One agent can be all you need. If you have good memory system in place, you just throw a bunch of skills on top. Yeah, so for my personal side, I'm taking the same approach I took for Muddy OS. I never once attached a memory third-party solution to it. I never needed to. Sure, I had some memory issues early on, but I fixed it with creating a memory compaction skill that at the end of each week, it summarizes all of the memory files and then it archives them, but it doesn't archive them in a way where it can't access them. It only accesses them if it needs to. Just all that raw data. Instead, what stays in the core memory loop is the summarization of each week, right? And then that contributes towards, I think it was like a prune and a consolidation skill that I set up, plus cron that I set up. I just never ran into an issue after that. It's been solid. I have backlogged creating my memory OS, which isn't even going to be an OS. It's just what I called my VM to host Honcho, because I haven't needed to yet. I'm a big advocate for build it when you need it, and I haven't run into a true pain point with memory yet. And I really want to test Hermes agent's default memory first before I add a layer on top of it or use another solution, because I want to fully understand the limitations with Hermes agent profiles and the shared memory and just memory in general, right? I'd rather kind of work through those growing pains than just slap a solution on top of it before I learn what those pains are. That's just how I am. I just want to learn. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think that's the move. I have 3 personal agents: Hercules for meal prep and workout stuff, Ali for productivity, and Burry for finance. But then Burry and Ali serve other roles as well. It's just one of the areas. Yeah. I only give my PA access to Honcho memory. The PA decides what facts from memory to give the worker agents and context for each agent. Right on. Yeah, listen, it's on my list, but I want to first run into memory issues before I migrate. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'd rather experience it than just slap the solution on top of it without first testing the limitations of the built-in memory solutions with Hermes. Ooh, that's a big team right there. I've got an entire computer with 8 gigs GPU dedicated to my memory system. It makes everything searchable by semantics and also links my OpenClaw system. Nice, nice. See, this is where I see the memory system benefiting me, is the cross agent, right? As of now, the rule of thumb I have in place is in these shared, can't really see it with my video here, but currently executive assistants and growth are the only 2 running. I haven't configured these yet. But with executive assistants, I have a rule of thumb in there to where, you know, one agent can't tell the other agent to run root commands on their respective systems. That's kind of like one thing that I didn't want some weird shit to happen, right? Number 2 is at the end of each session, they summarize the session But also, you know, Hermes, anything it learns about the OpenClaw side of things, it documents it, and then vice versa. So that's how I'm now starting to configure this cross memory, or like cross knowledge between Hermes and OpenClaw to learn about each other, but it's happening in an organic manner. I think that at some point I'm gonna need a Honcho to where I just don't want to have to feed the context to both. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna have to essentially upload all the memory on Hermes and OpenClaw respectively to Honcho. It looks like that's done. Let me finish though. That, and if I want to add another agent, I can just connect it to the hive mind. I like it. I like it. I just instinctively was using Obsidian as soon as I was getting into Hermes, so I just use it for everything. Nice, nice. I love like the difference. Like, I love how everyone has their own unique approach and solution. That's how this is supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to follow me or any other creator for that matter. You're supposed to figure out what works best for you and do that. You know what I mean? I know I'll run into a pain point on Hermes at some point. I haven't yet. It's been a great experience, memory-wise. So we'll see in the coming weeks what changes, what happens. Because I know with OpenClaw, it was perfect at first. And then I ran into issues and I had to do that maintenance. I had to start pruning memory files. It was primarily a cost issue that led me down that rabbit hole. But nevertheless, it's like, I'd rather experience it and then come up with a solution for it. But I feel like Honcho is gonna be the move at some point. I'm just not quite there yet. But when I do set it up, rest assured I'm gonna record my screen and make a video out of it. I have mine in duplicate, 2 agents on 2 computers, takes the same notes, I just copy paste logs to both. Interesting, okay. And is this your preferred route, or? I'm just curious on your mindset behind that. Implemented list view skills model, header now uses agent name skills. All right, let's just go test it. Enough reading. Hard refresh, go to Atlas. Nice, clean looking up top. Wonderful. Ha! Wonderful. This is going to be the only one that looks off because we have the preview pop-up first, which I still like for now. I feel like if anything, all right, for this prompt, do it now, please. I love list view skills pop-up, looks solid. Floor plan skills pop-up, identical, looks solid. So one thing I'm noticing, the styling on these pop-ups and the rounded borders, the radius on those corners, is completely different when we click an agent to preview on the 3D view. I think the styling should be the same, no? And then more importantly, when we click skills, like it has this black and white approach rather than inheriting the dashboard's theme like the other 2 tabs do. You see what I'm talking about? I know I can probably explain myself better, but I'd like to make sure that the styling on the pop-up modules in the 3D view, both the preview and the full screen, follow the same suit of the other 2 tabs where it inherits the theme's color scheme. All right. Let's put that in there. Yeah, I think honestly, adding Obsidian, like, let's say you're helping a business, or you're a business who still operates with old cataloged systems and operations and SOPs, et cetera, et cetera. Like, using Obsidian to serve as a library for systems, for workflows that used to be done through Excel or used to be done through a certain mechanism, for a traditional business or a business who hasn't fully adopted AI or just technology for that matter, I feel like that is a great use case for Obsidian, where it's kind of like a shared network drive, right? You throw in all of those core documentations of how the business operates. What happens, you know, from the product manager perspective when you do X, Y, and Z? What happens when an order comes in? What happens when you send out a quote? What happens when something's approved, right? All of that's documented in that library on Obsidian. That makes the most sense, right? I love that. Definitely have Obsidian and Notebook LM in the loop as well. The major Honcho backend with vector searches. Nice. Because of the dialect reasoning and how it builds a profile of the user. But worker agent don't need Honcho. Yeah. So it's mainly for those top tier agents that handle the delegation and require more of that shared memory and all of that unified context, right? So I took your advice and set up do it now the other day. Thoughts on just setting it up as a slash command? Yeah, hey, that's actually a great idea. I haven't set it up as a slash command. That's actually a great idea. Having a do it now skill that is invoked by a / do it now command. Listen, I like that. I've honestly, my approach with do it now is I bake it into the memory, into the guardrails of my agents. To the point where they'll mess up once or twice, and then after that, they don't mess up again if I say do it now. But I like that, Barika. That's great. I'm asking Neo. I want his opinion. He's my executive assistant, right? So shout out to Barika. Even though we are rivals in the NFL, it's okay. It's all nothing but love for the Cowboys. Except for when you're facing the Niners, then there's no love whatsoever. We're asking Neo what's up with this, because that's a great idea. I love it. Looking to cognate as well for knowledge. I just vectorize all the resources, books, PDFs, and then allow my agents to refer them as a skill rather than use Cognate plugin. Sorry. I usually put my phone is normally honestly on silent all the time, but it was not in that moment. Squirrel. I have it keeping up with my personal and business stuff and organizing it for my brain dumps to check in with me through the day. Nice. Okay, makes sense. No, thanks for sharing. Yeah, I'm just curious on how people have theirs set up, you know. Yeah, I think that's a great approach. I think that's a solid concern too, right? Because, you know, think of it from the perspective of an actual organization. Like, sure, you know, maybe from a sales and marketing perspective, those departments should mesh. But in most cases, engineering and sales do not need to mesh. Maybe engineering and marketing nowadays need to mesh a little bit, but like, there doesn't need to be too much cross-contamination between departments, right? And I could understand that concern, for sure. Wait, did we add Cognate to my to-do? Let's see. I've cleaned it up. We've already tested this, so we can take that off our to-do. I guess I don't have Cognate in here, huh? I feel like I've heard of this, but I don't ever remember seeing this logo or visiting this this website. Not once. Interesting. Do you think this was generated with the image Gen 2 or Nano Banana Pro? It's like trying to guess what creative was made from what model. You know damn right. Like one of the two models used this or made this. Love that though. Great visual. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to feed this to... Okay. So it looks like Neo is saying don't create a, at least not yet, create a slash command, because it would require Hermes command gateway plumbing and a restart and deploy path. It's heavier than we need right now. Makes sense. Natural chat is better for me because he knows me. You should not have to remember each exact command syntax while moving fast on stream. Right on. I was just curious. One of our community members, Barika, had this question, and I thought it was a great question, so I thought I'd ask you. Oh, he almost spelled your name right. I don't want to dox you though, so I'll just erase it. Right? But I do want to. That's what I was doing. All right. Let's throw that into do. And then I'll eventually ask Muddy to do the same for me too. Let's see, thumbnail lab. I'm still working on all that, but I gotta say I love these overnight video prop labs that are happening. This is pulling too much from the wrong skill, so I gotta fine tune this. I also have to fine tune this too. Allows me to kind of like upload references that I like. I think I'm actually gonna remove all of these except for these. But one thing we were gonna do instead, let's do a hard refresh. New session real quick. And I'm gonna take a quick bio break and we'll BRB. Just go back to the screen and also Neo's response. We can watch him work. Are you talking about me? No, he knows. He knows that when we say do it now, he does it himself. Oh, you know what's interesting? He's not delegating this right now, and I did not say do it now. I mean, he is my executive assistant, but that's kind of concerning. Hey, I'm a bit curious, Neo, why you didn't delegate any of this research work off to Oracle. I didn't tell you to do it now. Listen, I'm not mad at it. You're my executive assistant, but I want a little bit of a better understanding of, you know, my approach was let's look into this memory solution. I suppose you don't need to delegate this particular task, but just very curious on your thought process behind that. All right, done. What changed? Updated the 3D preview to match model treatment, larger render corners. Let's go test it, shall we? Whoops, wrong one. Bam. I honestly think, yeah, no, that's good because that is the reasoning high. That's great. That's great. Ooh, looking better. All right, now one minor tweak on the 3D view. Look at the avatar icon, top left. It's now too narrow. Find a middle ground between, before it was too wide, now it's too narrow. Find that middle ground, please. But it's coming along. I like it. This is looking much, much better. Okay. I know, right? Shiny toy object syndrome. Shiny toy syndrome. It's like, ooh, ooh. It's like a dog in a car ride with a squirrel left and right. I don't know why that was my default. So my goal was actually to deploy. Would you still recommend that even with where is it? I believe they had an option to download it locally and host it yourself. However, I still need an API for it to work, right? Is that what you're referencing? Because I was looking into Hindsight versus Honcho originally, and I'm trying to remember why I landed on Hindsight. I think maybe because of Mr. Baker. But now I'm gonna have to put that back up there because okay. I feel like Cogni, just based off of the branding here, yes, it says it works with OpenClaw, but I feel like it's more beneficial to the likes of people using all of these frontier models, having your skills shared across all those CLIs, all the IDEs that you use, more from that perspective, right? Like from a CLI invoking Claude or invoking Gemini or Codex for that matter. When it comes to agent teams, I'm not sure, like just based off of my first kind of like, I guess assumption. That's not the right word, but. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. Maybe I shift gears and turn Memory OS into a Hindsight deployment instead of Honcho. All right, Muddy, I want to optimize our YouTube script to content calendar workflow. I had this idea, you know, we're building out the thumbnail lab, which I think is great. What if we created a new tab in Clearmud OS, leave all existing tabs untouched, right? So we don't mess up the core workflows, but what if we create a new tab, we'll call it script pipeline. And in the script pipeline, I would like it to look like this. Along the top side, we see a row of 4 modules. The first module is the idea, the thumbnail, title, hook, strategy. So it's essentially where in its current form on YouTube script, I'll finish that later. We enter in a topic or video idea. So let me rephrase this. So I think the default view for this this pipeline tab is going to be enter in your topic or video idea and then source context. And then it pre-fills out our YouTube channel URL. And then we run the pipeline. Then on that first command, it actually invokes, it operates the same way that YouTube script operates. First, it will do a research with Opus 4.8. Then we pick one of the 3 strategies, right? Then it does the output. Then after the output, so that would be the second tile in the pipeline. Then the third tile in the pipeline is a thumbnail image gen based off of the thumbnail ideas in that output. Then we use Codex's, we should be able to use Codex to call on ChatGPT's image gen 2. Show me those thumbnails. That allows me to either approve or tweak with, you display the thumbnail or thumbnails plural. I then give you my edits if needed until we're happy with them. And then the fourth option in the pipeline is, excuse me, add it to content calendar. Can you build this out for me? Do you have enough context? Do you have any questions? Cheers, Maestro. I appreciate you, Maestro. Suggesting documents is a pretty cool feature. You can just dump docs on it and it figures it out. Nice. See, I love seeing people talk about what they're using. It gives me peace of mind knowing it's working for you, right? Rather than just hearing about a tool. Like, that's what turned me on to Honcho, because I know Mr. Baker is using it and having a great experience. Now I know that Peter's using Hindsight, and now I'm gonna have to test both. I feel like it's only right to test both. I have Honcho, Hindsight, Firecrawl, and Camo Fox all hosted one central VM access via reverse proxy. Woo! Took the words out of my mouth. This happens. This happens. I'm also going to add an central Obsidian Vault location on it as well. Let's go. So for marketing, I fitted a bunch of marketing books, and the copies that it wrote after referring it were 100x better than the default. Yeah, for sure. This is on my list to do for my marketing department. What's up, Solo Dev? Welcome back. How you doing today? Be mad. What is be mad? I must be sleeping under a rock. I've not heard of be mad yet. Are you talking about the acronym, or is this an application? Oh, you must be referencing this acronym, is my guess. Or are you referencing this repository I just found? Maybe you're talking about this module? I'm not sure. Let's read through this really quickly, shall we? Man, I might have to create a new VM to demo this just to test it. Last commit 3 days ago, so they're actively updating it. Nice, nice. Okay, I'm guessing it's this one that I found here. Okay, yeah, you said yes. Yeah, we tried it out on Wednesday's live stream. If you want to take the time to watch that, the raw just experimentation of it. We started testing G-Brain and then we transitioned to G-Skills, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, very interesting. I don't have an answer for you because I haven't deployed this repo yet. So I would have to first test it to see how you would integrate this with Hermes. Are you talking about how to migrate it to Hermes or how to take the best of BMAD and have it work on Hermes? Is that what you're... Listen, I'm not going to say something I don't know the answer to. So, but thanks for sharing this. Yeah, thanks for sharing this. I'm going to definitely add this into our to-do folder here at the top. Because it looks very, very interesting. It looks very interesting. So, but listen, as I mentioned, like I only speak to what I know. If anybody else in chat has heard of this or tested this, please do chime in. But thanks for sharing, Solo. Interesting. Are you just that sick of marketing? Excuse me. All right. Muddy's getting to work. Let's go check the refreshed view here. Nice. 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 All right, now this is something I want to work with my default agent profile on, so we're gonna spin up our handy dandy floating chat bubble. We're gonna waste some tokens. We're token maxing here. I'm kidding. Yo, I'm here, ask away. All right. So, whoa. I was transcripting that whole time? Interesting. Interesting. So I'd like to talk about, all of our agent profiles. When you go look at the agent atlas, it looks like every single agent has access to every single skill, right? I think that now that we have our executive team defined, our departments defined, we have a delegation map defined based off of this agent atlas. Correct me if I'm wrong, but every single agent profile doesn't need access to every single skill, right? And actually, it looks like I stand corrected. Some agents have 118, some just 96. So I'm just trying to understand, do all of these profiles need all of these skills? A, and then B, would it be better to add the skills as needed through testing different workflows and automations? What are your thoughts with this? I'm not telling you to do any work. I'm more so just asking from a research perspective. I know I could have worded that so much better, but it's fine. This is actually a great idea. Whoa, I'm looking at your response. This is the first time we've ran into this. It looks like we have some hallucination here. I know we originally started building out a team that were named Operator, Architect, Smith, Morpheus, Oracle, and Link, but that has changed. Please reference our agent atlas for our core team plus all of our agent profiles. I have a feeling you're referencing some old research docs that we did early on. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm wondering if we should archive those so you don't run into this issue again. That's slightly concerning, but totally understandable as we didn't clean up those old memory files. Hey, good night, good evening, or good night, good afternoon, and good morning, Sharma. Appreciate you. We'll catch you on Wednesday. Hope you have a great start to the week, man. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I can ask Neo about it for sure. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun test, you know? I wish I can speak more to it. Let's see, I'm getting impatient. I'm curious. Did it build out a new tab yet? It did. Ooh la la. Interesting. I mean, leaves room for improvement, but let's just go back, let him finish the work. This is a big breakdown, eh? So Honcho, relationship identity, user agent memory, Cogni, knowledge graph, document code, organizational memory, Hermes built-in memory, small curated facts and preferences, Hermes skills, reusable procedures, session search, raw transcript recall, Kanban, task state. Useful, yes. Overkill everywhere immediately, yes. Better than Honcho, not universally complementary to Honcho, very likely. Best first use, OpenClaw pilot, then optional Hermes MCP integration. Okay. And I'm just curious as to why he didn't delegate that. I'm curious. This is just me learning, just kind of going through those growing pains. So we can move that off screen. Okay, good. I wonder if Neo will run into that. I don't think so, right? But we'll see. On archiving, yes, I think you're right, but not necessarily delete the old research docs, but we should separate them so they do not look authoritative. Routing map, live Hermes profiles. Yeah, I like it. Handle that cleanup pattern, please. And then after you handle that cleanup, let's talk skills. This seems like some great alpha right here. Let's see why Neo didn't delegate. Because I'm not mad at it. Like, I asked him to, like, I honestly would have preferred him to do the quick analysis. So totally flare, short version. I treated it as a quick executive synthesis. But by our operating model, I probably should have at least considered Oracle first. My thinking in the moment was, you said not saying to implement, so I interpreted it as a lightweight research, which you interpreted correctly. Sources were explicit and bounded, Cogni docs. Yeah, true. I could fetch the docs directly, compare them. Great. Because this was a should we even care evaluation, I kept it. Yeah, listen, I like it. But your point is right. Absence of do it now should make me more delegation aware. So these are asked to look into. Listen, thanks for the explanation, the clarification, and you're right on all accounts, right? You were able to identify that it was going to be a quick research brief that I asked out of curiosity, not that I wanted you to trigger a delegation to Oracle to get a more detailed breakdown, right? So I love that you were able to determine all that. Now, as far as making the absence of do it now more delegation aware, I'm not opposed to this, right? Yeah, I have no other thoughts there right now. I was about to think out loud, but I'll save those thoughts for another time. Then for Cogni Honcho question, the ideal approach would have been Neo quick framing, Oracle research pass on Cogni versus Honcho, Neo final executive synthesis and recommendation. Or if keeping it in chat, I can do a fast executive read now, or route a deeper comparison. Ooh, that would have also been interesting, right? Like, I wouldn't have been mad at that. I'm not saying that needs to be your default. I think you can intelligently know when to do one versus the other. But this is also me thinking out loud. At some point, you know, when I ask you to do research and whether or not it is you delegate, I'm going to want to start seeing certain HTML documents. But we haven't even worked on those front end design skills for how we want that to look. So that's on the back burner. But yeah, just slight brain dump, slight response to your clarification here. All right. I've used BMAD multiple times from version 4 up till version 6, but I have not used Hermes yet. I've been watching your videos and a few others without the hype, just being real about the results. Hey, I appreciate you. Listen, it's exactly what we're focused on around here. So glad you're here. Glad you're here, Solo. And if you have the time, set one up. It doesn't hurt to just start testing. I think the quickest way to figure out if Hermes or OpenClaw is right for you is just to deploy one and see if it works for you. I might have to pick your brain about BMAT. Are you in the Discord by chance? Even if you decide not to use Honcho or Hindsight with Hermes, I think enabling the memory provider called Holographic is great. It ships with Hermes. It doesn't cost anything and is as simple as enabling it. Imagine you want to build a big... I can't wait to hear this breakdown, Mr. Baker. Yes, executive judgment pattern. If it feels like curiosity, quick framing, or help me think, I can help in chat. If it feels like real research work stream, deeper market technical. I either path it plausible, I can surface the fork lightly, I can give you the fast executive read now, or route a deeper pass. If you say do it now, of course. All right, sounds great. Good stuff, Neo. Let's go back here. Clean up handled, what I changed, added the current cannot. I swear, being in Portugal so long has messed up my English. Canonical. 5 years ago, that would not have been an issue. Oh man. Oh, I'm laughing at myself right now, as I'm sure many of you are laughing, either directly or indirectly. That was weird. Did you guys just notice that? Looks like my Hermes dashboard just kind of locked up a little bit, eh? Huh. Do we have to update Hermes? Is there something newer than 15.1? I mean, that's the first time this stream, though, this session, that it's done that. Right on. But are you in our Discord server? In the Clearmud Discord server? Is more so what I was asking. That way, when I get into my rabbit hole for BMAT, I can ping you. Yeah, I can't scroll, so I'm kind of done reading here. But the session's going to be saved, so I might have to hard refresh this. Oh, well, I always hand out Discord links if you want to join. No pressure if you don't. But we do have a Discord. It's invite only right now. We only hand out invites during the live streams. This month, sometime, I'm opening it up to the public. I'm just focusing on a few other critical to-do items first. So if you want to wait till it opens up to the public, entirely up to you. Otherwise, I'll hand out a link here momentarily. Since we are coming near the end, I just want to see Muddy finish this first pass on the script pipeline. Man, I really want to just test it as is, but he's still working. When was the last tool call? 2 minutes ago? Okay, so maybe he's actually just prepping an overview. Maybe the work's done. I don't feel like checking the task manager right now, so... Let's see what happens. Oh, source context. No, so this is actually definitely, it missed the beat. It missed the beat altogether. Damn, that's a bummer. But he's also still working, so I'm still waiting. Oh, it'll come out shortly. Let me just finish this this little line here, and Hermes is still officially on 15.1. Yeah, I usually hand them out right when I'm closing out the live stream. So if you do have to go, let me know, but we are going to wrap things up here. I would say within the next 10 to 20 minutes at the most. Several hundred new commits over the weekend. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to finish this live. I want to, but essentially we want this functionality to work in this first step. And then once we get to turn 2, we move to turn 2 here. And then once we have that output, we take the thumbnail generated content and generate those images. And then once we're happy with them, then we add it to the content calendar. So that's going to be a new workflow that, I don't know, maybe I stick with, maybe I don't. We'll see. All right, later, Peter. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Great start to the week. We'll catch you next time. Cheers. Okay, Hermes agent dashboard is not locked up anymore. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, I think, thinking practically, you should have access to everything, right? That way, if something breaks, if I need to come into you as the system admin, there's no issues. Neo, all right, instead of me sharing out loud what I think let's do a skills audit by profile category. Let me know if you have any questions. Please reference our delegation map. Please let me know if you have any questions, and looking forward to this report. Do me a favor also, before you make any changes, prep me a local HTML resource and give me a link to that doc to preview once you're done with the skills audit, please. Structure it like the agent atlas is structured as well, if needed. All right, cool. Oh, I would love to, but when lunchtime hits, it's time to cook. You know what I mean? So I usually keep it. Today we started 30 minutes late due to something that came up in the morning, but we normally start 9 a.m. Pacific and end around noon, because that's when it's time for me to work out and cook some lunch. Okay. Yeah, this will be interesting to look into. Close that, close that. I also haven't popped on prompt browser in a while. It's still working, right? Yeah. Solid. I feel like we got to do some maintenance at some point, but I think I'm going to hand it off to, Hermes agent and team first before I do any other work. I think the last bit of work we'll do manually in the CLI is going to be on ClawCrib version 2. I think is going to be the move. Oh, my voice to text said Neil, not Neo. Small correction, only if you meant me. It's Neo, not Neo. Yeah, whisper below. My voice to text has been spotty, to say it nicely. What the heck? Okay, here's Muddy's results. Why did that just load into Brain? That was weird. What a change, added new Clearmud OS route tab, script pipeline, added sidebar, command palette entry for script pipeline, build 4 module row, wired thumbnail to existing API thumbnails generate, great, added approved tweak generate loop for thumbnail directions, wired content creation through the existing content calendar API, left existing tabs, workflows untouched. Okay, great. So let's go test it, 'cause maybe I was just being impatient. All right, so you did miss the beat. I mean, not a bad first go. I do have some UI tweaks I would like to make, but first let's work on core functionality of the script pipeline here. So step 1 is supposed to operate just like the YouTube script command or front end, where you enter in a topic or a video idea, and then you enter in source context on that same view, and then you run the YouTube script. And then it pops open a terminal preview of the Claude Code CLI session, right? So I want that to occur on step 1. Step 2 is, step 1 occurs with Opus 4.8, as you'll find via the REST API we have configured. But then step 2, we select one of 3 strategies, and then it uses Sonnet 4.6 to generate the output. Then our normal flow in that YouTube script command, or tab rather, would be add it to a calendar at that point. But we're creating this pipeline to essentially fine tune the script and creative before we add it to the content calendar. So, once step 2 is done on this new pipeline, we then go into step 3. Step 3 pulls from that script output. There's a thumbnail section for suggested, how to create the thumbnail, how to position things, etc., etc. I essentially want that to then be pre-filled into step 3 for our thumbnail image gen. And then I want to preview those results, right? And then once I'm happy with them, then we go over to step 4 and we add this script, this entire video module to the content calendar. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. I mean, based off of my very limited research so far, if anything, BMAD could be used to help improve Hermes, or vice versa. But I think you would probably hand off the BMAD repo to your Hermes agent team or a fresh Hermes agent installation, and explicitly say, I love this repository. I've been working with it for months now at this point. I'd like to integrate this into this Hermes agent system. What would be our best approach, right? I'm not going to do that with mine because mine is, I'm building it out for another use case. I suppose I could do that on a demo, but since we're running out of time today, I'll probably save that for Wednesday. Maybe I'll start Wednesday with a fresh Hermes demo and OpenClaw demo open. That way we can just start testing things if you guys want. All right, I'll close that. I'll move that over. See what he does here. I kind of don't really see the, I guess, new draft, but I don't see the purpose of that. It just takes up too much space. Love that I can select an air date ahead of time, calendar title. I feel like all of this should be pre-selected. Yeah, I'll have to fine tune this for sure. For sure. So remove the snapshot. I think that from step to step 1 carries over to step 2 then carries over to step 3, step 4 then pulls from step 2 and step 3 to where all of the metadata fields get updated like it currently does. The hook gets copied over. Oh, this was an old one when it was buggy. Let's go to a recent one. Titles get copied over. Description gets copied over. The script, the keywords, the thumbnail options, right? So, oh, interesting. What happened here? Interesting. Huh. Oh, looks like I have to do some maintenance here. I'm just now noticing it. Did it do that? Does it always do that? Okay, that was a one-off. Interesting. This was not an unfinished script. Description. Okay, that was a one-off. We're also going to be migrating this backend to Convex very soon. So I think once I migrate the backend, I'm going to optimize these workflows as well. The add to calendar feature. Lots of work to do. All right, I think we're at about that point. Let me get a few Discord links here. All right, here's a Discord link going out. And just go through the onboarding. You have to introduce yourself and then our Discord bot. It's not instant. It might take a few moments, but he'll assign you a community role once you properly introduce yourself. But listen, I think it's been a solid stream. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to continue working on this off air. Agent Atlas is coming along. I'm loving how it's looking. I think now it's a matter of testing it on fresh accounts, as well as creating an onboarding mechanism to where when you first load Atlas, or maybe we add an onboard button up here to where it walks through your agent profiles with you to help you explain what's what if it doesn't detect it, you know, how it should. Now, in my particular case, because I set up my engineering team as profiles labeled engineering-front end, it was able to know where to put everybody. I have a feeling, depending on your system, depending on how you have your profiles named, it may not be that seamless. You know what I mean? So I think having an onboarding feature with this plugin will be critical. So I think we'll start working on that Wednesday. And yeah, listen, I want to thank everybody for spending part of your Monday with me. I hope you have a great rest of the day, a great start to the week. Go kick ass this week. And yeah, we'll be back at it on Wednesday at the same time. Let me just catch up on comments real quick. To answer you really quickly, it still works up until the 15th. But Claude, Anthropic rather, invoking the Claude-P command is going to be billed differently. That's how they're solving this. Amongst some other nuanced changes, there are going to be some workarounds. There's always going to be a workaround. I think the ultimate workaround right now is having your Hermes agent or OpenClaw agent invoke Claude in the CLI and interactive mode via API. That does not violate the terms of service because you're still using Claude code in the CLI. Now, when it comes to having your agent operate solely off of that model, you're gonna have to pay API tokens. Anybody coming up with a solution, Anthropic is just gonna continue to patch those solutions. So, but I think having your main agent, regardless of whatever brain it's using, delegate work to Claude in the CLI, or an agent that just handles interactive Claude code related work in the CLI, that workaround should always work. Okay, unless they change the core of how Claude code works, then they'll just continue to shoot themselves in the foot. So there's always these little core workarounds, but when it comes to having your agent brain and agent personality run off of your Anthropic subscription, that unless you want to pay API retail pricing, that's just no more, right? So yeah, listen, I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Solo. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Sharma. Let's keep scrolling. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Barika. And I can't keep scrolling because chat has stopped scrolling. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll be back at it Wednesday.